Hi folks, welcome to the Sabre Zone. This is the video on the channel. In case you're new or not new, that always talks about what you had to say and how you said it. And I'm gonna even show it to you. There you go. Let's take a look at this one. Where is my glasses? Sorry folks. I got a few minutes here before I gotta get out there. I gotta give Tequila Pumpkin. Yes, it's a long story, it'll make sense. God, I was thinking of even documenting these days, like a little video of it, you know? Geez, she's a fighter, boy. Okay, here's the clip. And a shout out goes to Connor Dario, I think it's Desiderio. Though I would have loved to seen Levi next year, this gives UPL a shot for a significant NHL time, giving us a better idea where he is at. I like that thinking, Connor. I do, because we should be focusing on the solutions, right? Not the problems, even though it's not really a problem. What's going on with Levi, it's really not. If it becomes a problem, we get rid of it. That's, no mercy. That's it. That's a new motto. No, when it comes to the UPL, I was thinking about the games he played when I read your note, and I was impressed. I was. What concerns me about UPL, I could tell you right off the cuff, is I'm a little worried about if he's injury prone, but that could just be me worrying. It's way too soon to peg somebody injury prone. It really is. I mean, he's a young kid still, and he's played a handful of NHL games, but he's had a few injuries along the way too. I never get concerned of AHL numbers, okay? I've seen guys come into the NHL from the AHL and do better in the NHL than they did in the AHL. So I never get really concerned with it, not really. It's not one of those things that, unless he was save percentage is like 750 and he's letting everything in, then it's different. But yeah, I know he had a rough start, looked really good, and he kind of slided a bit more. But, we've been taking their top players too, let's not forget, here and there, right? So it doesn't make life any easier for those guys out there. I think UPL, if he works out, and I mean as a backup, I want to put that out there. I mean as a backup next year, I think we got to sign a veteran goalie in the offseason. Even if it was Levi, I would say the same thing. We got to sign a veteran goalie to give these kids time to take over as the leaders. But they need to come into the NHL, and that's why I'm thinking UPL, yes, this will give us time, a good gauge, I believe, where we'll see him I'm hoping 30 games next year out of UPL. That's my hope. I might be a little far-fetched. I don't know. I think he can squeeze in 30 games next year, if he stays healthy, of course. And then if we get a veteran goalie, I know you guys have talked about Darcy Kemper. I don't know, guys. I don't know how realistic that is. And not because of the team or anything. The guy played in Arizona. That's not what I'm, talking about. I'm talking, how's he not going to get signed by Colorado? Unless Colorado have other ideas. If they have other ideas, I mean, Kemper might be looking for a certain amount of money and they're not willing to put it out. Yes, then we should jump on it. Jump on a 4-year deal, 3-4-year deal. Not this long-term crap. No. And what do you marked out there? About 6.5 a year? I'd say that's about right. That's about right. Because, his numbers are for sure inflated or deflated as a goalie. They're deflated because of the team he's on, let's face it. When you're standing like this all day long in your nets, you're going to have, come on. Colorado's done everything right. They haven't had a bad game all year, it looks like. So we'll see in the playoffs what Kemper's made of, okay? That's what I want to see. Before I jump the gun with Kemper as he's the saving grace and all that, let's see what he does in the playoffs. And even if he has a rough playoff, my theory will be correct about Colorado if that happens. So we'll see. Colorado look like the team this year that should be stopped by nobody. That's how they appear right now, this very minute. They're basically in a class of their own. The 1996 Red Wings were, remember? What happened to them? So we've seen it before, guys. We've seen teams look at just as recently as Tampa Bay 3 years ago, right? Getting swept in the first round. And that was the humiliation they needed to wake up. That was it. Once that happened to them, I knew they're winning the Cup the next year, and they weren't having a great year, and everybody's writing them off. Not me, no way. Not what that team just went through. And I was thinking, this before COVID, I was along the lines of thinking, well, they just got swept 4 straight. They played the minimal amount of games next to regular season, missing the playoffs. You know what I mean? 4 extra games, so they get to rest all summer. They're angry as hell now. This humiliation is going to drive them next year, and it did. I wasn't surprised when they broke through, not at all. But it was kind of weird for me as a fan to see another champion besides their 2004 team. You know, it was weird to see a whole different, and that's credit to a great hockey system over there, guys. Really, I mean, it's not just Yzerman that helped build that team. Don't think it was. They're sitting in a room of guys and they're all talking. Yzerman's picking their brain and listening, you know, when they were doing drafts and everything. They made some bad ones. Drouin's one that stands out where Yzerman really dropped the ball on that one. So there's a lot of things that you can look at. But when you have a good organization, you find a way to become a champion again. That's what it's all about. And Tampa's a good organization. That's what they are. And I'm not writing them off this year, guys. Not at all. But what Connor's talking about, let me get back to that because I tend to get sidetracked, guys, with hockey talk. And yes, UPL could be the guy. You know, I'm not writing off UPL by any stretch. No, I was just so damn impressed this year with the numbers of Levi and what I seen him do in junior a few years back. I was very impressed. So not even a few years ago, recently, really, you know. So Devin Levi for me is really, he's not a problem. He's just made a decision, which I agree with. You know, if it was my son, if I had a son, I'd probably say the same thing. I probably would have sat him down and say, how do you feel about, you know, I'd want to find out how he feels. Forget the money, forget the stardom, forget all of it. How do you feel? You know, and if he's sitting there saying, I'm just going to feel wrong if I don't finish my schooling, you know, I'm going to feel wrong. He's done this all his life. You got to remember, he's committed to school all his life like hockey, right? So the guy wants to see it through. He wants to finish everything he's tried to accomplish. And he's getting close. And to walk away from that for money is just not the best of idea, I think. So I think he's doing the right thing. I don't think it has anything to do with him wanting to leave the Sabres. If he does, we will know soon enough. We'll move him this summer. I don't think it'll be next summer. It'll be this summer. Well, they'll move him out if that's the case. I'm sure they know already if that's the case or not the case. So that's where I'm at with that, guys. I think UPL should be what we're concentrating on because he is going to be our backup goalie this year. It wasn't ever going to be Levi or Portillo. It was going to be absolutely, without a doubt, UPL. We know this. We've been grooming the kid for years now. Come on. So we got to welcome him in. He's a big goalie. Let's see what he does. He might come in and be stellar next year. He might just dominate. Way better than we're expecting. We don't know. Look what happened with Tage when he came of age. What about when UPL does? We got to give that consideration. We can't just look at what he's done now and say that's what he'll do next year. That's absolutely boneheaded thinking, guys, because 1 year when you're that young is like this. The difference can make. It really, I've seen it. I've seen it over the years with different teams, different franchises, different players. It might make for a good video one day doing that. You know, the complete turnarounds of certain players that, Jesus, like Tage this year has been awesome. He's not just scoring goals, guys. It's the way he plays and covers all this ice space when he's out there. You ever notice nobody can get to him when he has the puck with his reach? You know, I'd be way more concerned losing Tage at this point than Devin Levi. You know, God, what we got there, I owe him a huge apology because last year I was like, oh my God, why does Kruger keep playing this guy in the first line? But he was playing him wrong. Granato figured out as a centerman. Worked beautifully. So no complaints there at all. I mean, now the UPL factor. Will he be our number 1 goalie next year? Will he be? I don't think so. It's not ready for that yet. Not yet. We got to get him at least half a year feeling like he is a Buffalo Sabre, not a call-up. You know, and we'll see then because we can't rush the process in the NHL either, because we need a goalie. No, we got to go out and we got to get a vet, guys. I think all of us agree on that. We got to get a veteran goalie to mentor these kids. And I'll tell you what, if Anderson could stay healthy, I'd be more than happy to have Anderson back. I'll tell you right now. I make sure they bump him up a bit. Give him a raise. God, he's doing us a favor by sacrificing his family another year. His body's starting to break down a bit. He's tired, I'm sure. He needs to rest. He's 20 years in the league, man, you know. So anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. That's it. I just wanted to go over a few things here. So I will see you guys in some videos probably later tonight. I'm way overcommitted now this afternoon. Every hour, my cell phone goes off, and it's a tequila thing every hour right now. So we're really on this right now. She's day 13, I believe, with the meds. Or day 12. I think it's day 12. Yeah, I'm losing sleep and I'm losing numbers in my head. So one day at a time with that, and same thing with the boys, getting better and older and faster and stronger and all of it. Let's just hang in there. God, stay calm, everybody. Stay calm. See you in the next one, guys.